Hi everyone, it's Amanda with loveandsoap.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make stickers or labels using StickerYou.com. So these can be labels for your soap, they can be labels for your other bath and body products such as scrubs, lip balms, pretty much anything that you want to create labels for, you can do it with StickerYou.com. Also, you can create promotional stickers, and I'll show you how to do that. You can create thank you stickers to put with orders, or just, fun stickers to send in orders when you send them to your customers. So let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, you can go to StickerYou.com, which is where I'm at right here, and click Create Now. And when you click Create Now, you have some options. We're going to make one design. Now they do have this option. This is where you would make like fun promotional stickers. So you might have like some sayings and then maybe some hearts and stars or something. So we don't want that option. We just want to create one design. Okay, and then this is their editor where you can design stickers. It's really cool, really easy to use. So you can do two things. You can upload your own image or you can design your own. So ignore this because this is just fun images and shapes. That if you just wanted to make like some monkey stickers or some no smoking stickers or some hearts, you could do that. But the two options that we want to use as soap makers is either uploading your own image or using their widget to create our own, which is what we'll do, their editor. And so uploading your own image would be if you designed your labels using like Photoshop or Illustrator or some other graphic design program. Maybe you have a graphic designer that you're working with and they send you labels to print. This is where you could upload your image to print them at StickerYou. So we're going to go ahead and skip this because we're going to use the editor to create our own labels from scratch. And now these are not wraparound labels. These are stickable labels. And so they would just go on the front of a bar of soap. All right, so step one is to choose the shape that we want. So you can choose from the basic shapes. You can also scroll down here and kind of go through all of the different shapes they have here. Now I have a bar of soap that is 3 inches by 3 inches. And so I want to create a label that is 2.5 by 2.5. And that way it'll fit on the face of that 3 inch by 3 inch bar of soap. So I can choose pretty much anything. I can go with a square or a rectangle to go on the front. I can go with rounded corner square. I could even go with a circle, or I could go with these fancy shapes. So I'm actually going to go with this scalloped shape. But when you're playing with this editor, feel free to click through some of them and kind of get an idea about what's available because you can be really creative. So let's go with this fancy shape. And then you can see it puts it on my template. Now, this is super important. Take a look at all of these different lines. The green one is the safe area. So that means that you want all of your content within the green. The die cut is where the sticker is going to actually be cut. And that's why the green's so important, because if you have anything close to the die cut, it might accidentally be cut off, or it might just look funny because there's not enough white space around it. Okay, so when you design your stickers, keep everything important in the green. Now, of course, you can put like a background that goes past the green and just know that it will be cut, and so that's not a big deal. All right, so here's where we pick our size, and like I said, I want 2.5 by 2.5. Because that is going to fit on my 3 by 3 and be pretty nice. Now I can actually go a little bigger, and you know what? I think I might. 2.75 by 2.75. Okay. Now, once you have the size of your sticker set up, it's time to add things to it. And so some things that I like to add, of course, we'll have some images, we'll have some text, and things like that. Now, it's very important, this tutorial is not necessarily a labeling tutorial, as in I'm going to go over everything that needs to be on your label. For that, I really recommend Marie Gell's website, and you can go to her website, and it's just mariegell.com, and she has tons of information on how to label your soap, what needs to be on it, and all of those kinds of things. So this is just a tutorial to show you how to design your labels once you determine what goes on it. Okay, this is also not a tutorial to talk about branding. So before you even design your labels, you need to have your branding done. So you need to know part of your branding, you know, what images do you use, what kind of fonts you use, what kind of colors you use. All of that is determined by your branding. So you need to go through that first. And then once you do, I like to get inspiration from Pinterest. So if I'm trying to make a modern label for a modern soap company, I'll look up modern label design. And then I just use this for inspiration. Now I'm never going to copy anything. I don't know why Pinterest is messing up lately, but I have to put it up here as well. So I'm never going to copy anything, but it can give you really good ideas. So these are all modern labels, and you can see what they look like and kind of get some ideas. So these are awesome. A lot of alcohol, some preserves, some gin, some soap. There are some soaps here. You can also put in modern soap label and get some ideas. Let's say we want to create a whimsical label. So let's look at ideas. And for some reason, Pinterest is just not working right now. All right, whimsical label design. And then we can get some whimsical ideas. So these teas, that's a nice inspiration there. These wines as well, that's pretty cute. Okay, so go to Pinterest and look for ideas because sometimes we're not all natural designers. We need a little help. We need a little visual help. And so Pinterest is really great for that. You'll find all kinds of things. But again, really think about your branding before you even start this process, okay? So once you have an idea about what you want to create, you can leave Pinterest open if you find something cool to look at. Well, let's go ahead and go back to the sticker maker editor. All right, so I kind of have an idea as to what I want to do. This is going to be for an orange dream soap that I made. And so that is what I'm going to need to put on it. Now, we can have a different colored background. So just start clicking things and playing with them and you'll really get a good idea as to what they do. But if you want to change the background color, you can just use this to change it. If you want to go back to white, you can just put no color. If you want to add an image, you can click this. And you can do two things. You can upload an image or you can browse StickerYou. So let's go ahead and upload an image because I have an orange that I want to use. Now this orange graphic I got from Adobe Stock. So if you're going to use graphics on your labels, be sure to get them from websites that you can actually use them. So don't steal them off the internet or anything like that. Now once you add an image, you can resize it. So if I want it small or large, you can simply resize it. So we'll put it right here for now, and then I might have to resize it later. All right, so another thing you can do with the labels, of course, because we're going to need to do it, is you can add text. So let's add some text. This is going to be Orange Dream. After you add the text, you're going to have to apply change, and then it changes your text. Now we can make this smaller. We can make it bigger. We can change the font if we want. So, you know, this is going to really be determined by your branding again. Are you having scripted font? Do you have blocky font? What do you have? So we'll go ahead and just use this funky font. And we'll move this right about here, I think. Now take a look at my text. It's almost hitting that green line. So just to be on the safe side, I want to reduce that a little bit. All right. Now when it comes to the text, you can also change the color of it. So I want this in orange. I think that's a nice orange, Orange Dream. And there's some more text I want on here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So this one is going to be handcrafted soap, but I'm going to put it in all caps. Apply. Obviously it's way too big, so I'm going to have to shrink it down a little bit. And I don't know what font I want. Let's see. You can just kind of go through and click through them, find something that you like. I actually like that. So let's go with that. All right, handcrafted soap. Okay, so when we're doing a soap label, and again, refer to Marie Gell, but it needs to state that it's soap. So Orange Dream handcrafted soap, you can easily read this label and know that it's soap. Okay, so I'm going to add the ounces and grams down here. And this bar of soap is 4 ounces and 118 grams, I believe. We definitely don't want that big font, so we'll shrink it down. And we'll move it. I think we're going to move it over here. Now again, I can just change anything I want to, so if that's kind of in the way, you can move that and just kind of arrange things to how you want them. Now on the soap label, I also want my logo. Okay, so to do that, I have my logo on my computer, so I'll upload it. Gotta search for it. I never know where I put it. Here it is. All right, and then again, just picking these squares, just resize it to however you want it. So I think having it right about there looks nice. All right, so that's pretty much everything that I really want to have on the front, but I do have this white space, which white space isn't always a bad thing, but I'm going to go ahead and put a little text right here saying made with orange and Litsea essential oils. Okay. Just so people can kind of know right away what's in it. All right. So I think that looks pretty good. So this is pretty much everything I want on the front of the label. And then I would save it. I could order prints and then I would do the back of the label. So let me just show you what happens when you're done. All right, so here's where you choose what you order. Now, when you're doing labels, you want to go to category labels. You want to do rolls because the rolls are going to be a lot more cheaper than getting pages. It just saves them better. Okay, so for this label, this 2.75 by 2.75, 250 labels is $85. 1,000 labels is $140, which is like 14 cents each. So it's very reasonable. I think the pricing is really good at StickerYou.com to order labels. Okay, now you're going to have to do this for every type of soap that you have. So it can, it is an investment getting professionally printed labels, but it is so worth doing if you want to take your business seriously and really offer a nice product. Okay. So you'll choose what you want and then you'll add to cart and then you can check out and order your labels. Okay. Now, let me show you a few more things. Okay, so I went back to edit just so we can play with some things. Because there's more that you can do. I think this is a nice looking label, but if we wanted to do some more things, let's just play around a little bit. We can change the background. So if we wanted an orange label to kind of go with the orange dream, we could change the background. If we were doing a lavender label, maybe we would do lavender for the background. So you can pick any kind of background color that you want. You can also add images and check out kind of the stuff that they have. They have all kinds of different things. One that I like to look at is the backgrounds and borders. So if you wanted a background pattern like chevron background, you could certainly do that. Let's just see what it looks like. Okay, so it put the background on there, but we have to move it to the back. So we'll just keep clicking this until it goes to the back. All right, so now it's behind everything. So you have this chevron, which is kind of cool. But we don't really want that. I'm just kind of just showing you what you can do. So again, they have all of these backgrounds, which are really nice. They have borders and frames. So if you wanted to add, you know, a nice border or these scrolls to your image, you can. Shapes. If you wanted to add any shapes to your label, you can. Sometimes that's nice to do. Like this, something like this behind the name of the soap works well. We can just kind of play with this. I don't know if we'll really use it. Maybe I want to put this behind my logo. Oops, did it too small there. So like, let's just play with this for an example. And I want to turn it white, which may seem weird, but hang with me here. And then back. And we want to change the background color to orange. So you can see it just makes my logo pop. And then of course I would have to move this down because this is kind of over it. Or I could just move this back some more. Okay, so there's lots of different things you can do. So don't be afraid to jump in and just play with it. And again, have your inspiration opened at Pinterest so that you can kind of look at design elements, see what fonts go with what, see what colors go good, and it really gives you some good ideas. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. So anything you add, if you don't want it, you can just simply delete it. And I'm going to turn the background color white. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a good idea as to how to create a simple label using StickerYou. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to use StickerYou just to create a simple like marketing or promotional sticker. So let's go to the create, to the editor, and I'm going to create just a really simple thank you sticker. And that way, this is something I would put in the order. Like if I wrapped their soap in tissue paper, I can put this thank you sticker on it. Or if I, you know, I could just put it on the envelope itself. So kind of have options. For this, I'm going to do a round label. Of course, you can do any shape that you want, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with round. And then I'm going to make this one 2 by 2, so it's just going to be a little small thank you sticker. All right, on this one, I'm going to add an image because I want like a flowery frame around it. So let's check out what StickerYou has and go to the backgrounds. And again, when you're looking at StickerYou, go through all of these different categories and kind of see what you can find. All right, so there's a couple different options. If I want like a floral frame, yep, we'll just go with this one, I think. Okay, I'm gonna make it a little bigger so that it goes a little closer to the safe area. So just simply, oh, I added obviously more than one, so let me delete. Let's clear all. I think I accidentally pushed that button too many times. I do get click happy sometimes. Benjamin's always telling me that. Slow down, you're getting click happy. All right, so now we have one. So let's make it a little bigger. And then if you ever want to center anything, you can just hit this align button and choose the center button and it will center it. Now it's over the green just a little bit, so just to be on the safe side, I'll shrink it down a little. Oops. So I had to move it to get this corner. All right, let's try that again. Now I went too small. Sometimes it's just a matter of doing it a couple times until you get what you're trying to do here. Takes a little practice. All right, so that looks good. Most of it is inside the green and it's close enough to where I'm not going to have a whole lot of white space on the outside. All right, now I want to add text and I'm just simply going to say thank you. So apply. And if we want this text aligned in the center, we can just hit this center align. And then again, if we want to put that text right in the center, we can just go to the tools, hit align, and then hit the center align. And so that is that. I want to change the font. So again, pick something that's, in line with your branding. You can kind of scroll through them and find one you like. I kind of like that one, and I'm going to make it a little bigger. Okay, I need to go back and realign it because that kind of messed it up a little bit. And maybe a little smaller. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. So that was a really simple way to make, thank you stickers that I can put on my orders. You can also use this to create logo stickers. So let's say instead of the thank you and the wreath, I could just upload my logo and just have nice little logo stickers to put on orders. So it's completely up to you, and it's very easy to customize and change things, which I love. So there's so many options. You can use the stuff that StickerYou has available, or you can use your own uploaded, branded designs. So just kind of playing a little bit with the colors. I think that looks kind of nice, the blue and the peach. And so when you're done editing, you would just hit done editing. And again, it's cheaper if you get these rolls. Okay, so if you get the pages, you can order less. So if you're not ready to invest, $80 to get the minimum of the stickers, then you can certainly get a few less by ordering the pages. And if you want a whole lot, like if you want 250, then you can get 250 by clicking the rolls. So it's kind of up to you. You can get the single cut stickers. So it's just kind of, check out what the pricing is for each and just kind of see what you like. So that's kind of expensive, the die cut singles. So that's where they cut the paper off and everything. So I don't think that's necessarily worth doing unless you're giving the stickers out for people to stick on things. So depending on your budget, if you have less money, go with the pages and then you can just get a few, although it's more per sticker. But if you know for sure you're going to use this, times a couple hundred, then, get the roll because you're going to save money that way. So once you figure all that out, you can add to cart and then check out. And super simple. So I hope that you can see how StickerYou can really help you create nice labels and promotional stickers for your handcrafted soap business. I encourage you to just jump on StickerYou.com. Click on create. You don't even have to create an account or anything. It's totally free to play with. So go ahead and get on and just practice. If you don't have Photoshop or Illustrator and you don't have the money to invest in a graphic designer right now, I think StickerYou is a really great program to get started with. So thanks for watching. I hope that you found this helpful. For more soap making videos, tutorials, recipes, blog posts, check out loveandsoap.com. And if you haven't joined our Facebook group, go to Facebook, type in Saponification Nation, and join our Facebook group. We'd love to see you there.